Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I'm your host, GameChanger. So, pet to threat pipeline. I just realized this. Apparently, it's been something that's out for 10 years, and this is just another Black woman justification for DEI and for unfair advancement in the workplace. There, I said it. And basically, it deals with the notion that they hire you and there's all type of enthusiasm and they want this from you, and then they automatically feel that you are a threat. And we have to break down what's going on here. What are they trying to pull? Well, for one, they want to advance more than what they are. They're the least paid. I think maybe Latin women are the least paid group, but by a small margin, and that's because they have the sense to become housewives in large numbers. But they're the least paid group as far as ethnic gender goes. Least paid to Black men, least paid to Latin women, Latin men, lowest paid group. But yet they like to tout their advancements like, I'm just killing it because I'm so awesome and black girl magic, stuff like that. But then when they get into these corporate jobs that they sacrifice families into getting into, they find themselves needing help. And that's where things like DEI and stuff like that comes along. So, and they also find that climbing that corporate ladder so they could live that Sex and the City lifestyle is a lot more difficult than they first assumed. It's not a matter of just getting a degree, walking into an office, smacking that degree on your table, and then saying, I want to be VP of marketing or some crap like that. You actually have to climb a ladder, and that ladder requires working out, which is something that most of you don't like to do. It also requires balancing your head and keeping your wig on. So, any obstacle that they have, they make it into a political issue, hoping to remove that obstacle. Through every attempt to climb a corporate ladder, there is going to be obstacles because others want to get to it. It's kind of like if you are NASCAR racing and then somebody says, hey, that other guy, now that he's in front of me, he won't let me pass. Well, of course not. He's racing against you. It's a competition. Why would they? Now, I'm going to get into how I came across this topic, what I was doing on YouTube to bring me to this topic, which brings up another topic that I might cover here, but in greater detail in another video. So stay tuned for that. But before I do that, let me go to TikTok so y'all can see what I'm talking about. All right, give me a moment while I get into this and give y'all a chance to hit that like button. Oh, by the way, the phrase was coined by what I can assume to be a Black woman because her name is literally Keisha. Hold on. Her name is literally Keisha. So I'm going to assume that it's a Black woman. And I think she coined the term. Once again, this is just to make any obstacle for corporate advancement a political issue. Therefore, they can just have a straight and narrow path to advancement and talk about how awesome they are. Good luck with that now. All right. I haven't seen this, so I'm watching it fresh with you. Hit that like button, and we can talk about it. Now, before I even click the play button, I'm going to point out that she's fat, the woman on your screen here. Now, there exists something called the halo effect, which affects both men and women. There's a reason why our first presidents are over 6 foot tall, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a reason why people tend to favor leaders that are aesthetically pleasing. Same with women, same with men. It's very difficult to advance when you look like this. It just is. And she don't even try, which is a sign of laziness, which also is going to hinder your advancement. Anyway.
I can talk about it. There is literally a fine line between pet and threat. One day things are amazing. You're vibing, you're cracking jokes, you're doing lunches together. You are literally like their right hand. And then the next you're like, what the hell did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. It's just that they woke up and decided that now you're a threat. Then they start trying to get ahead of everything you're doing and creating.
Or you did something wrong. In today's work climate, you can only joke and vibe so much before somebody gets offended. And then, quite frankly, not everybody's going to like your jokes and vibes, especially when you're a Black woman. You're different from everybody else, including Black men. Your humor is different. Your pheromones is different. Your hair is different. There really isn't. It's very difficult for anyone to vibe with you. And I know that you think that you can solve this problem by effectively code switching. You can't. You can't. They see through your code switching and they just tolerate it. And then what I'm guessing happened here is that she was joking and vibing and shucking and jiving for a long time until they just got tired of pretending to be entertained by it. And usually that happens when work ramps up. It's like, okay, we're going to deal with this whole nail Carter, give me a break, or Florida from what's that called? Was it Florida or Florence? I think it's Florence. Flo from the Jeffersons. We're going to deal with that. We're going to pretend like it's interesting. We're going to pretend like it's cute. We're going to pretend like it's quirky. But we're never going to invite you to like a corporate outing that's not sponsored by the corporation. Meaning when such and such have a baby shower in a person's private home or resident and they decide to invite some of the females in the office place, it will not be you because they're not feeling like that. They are tolerating you. And then when that tolerance wanes, you say, oh, it's because I'm a threat. Okay.
Blockers. They're having hallway conversations with other people about you. They plant doubt in people's minds around your abilities, and they use their position and influence to try to humble you. And you're probably thinking like, well, I hope they quit soon. They won't. Because the thing about people like that is
so basically you're saying that you have no humility. There is a certain level of humility that's needed in the workplace. First of all, you need to know your limitations. You need to know what you know and what you need to learn from others. And then there is a chain of command and a hierarchy that requires a certain level of humility. So for them to say, oh, they try to humble you, well, why aren't you already humbled? Well, I'll tell you why she isn't already humbled. Hit the like button. I'll tell you why she's not already humbled. Because American society has created this, have remained silent when women like this talk about, I rock, I'm magic, I'm this, I am a corporate goddess and blah, blah, I'm a diva, I'm a queen, I'm a blah, blah, blah. How do you humble somebody like that? it has turned into a narcissist factory. And then the moment you don't treat them like they're absolute royalty and completely and totally competent in each and every single facet of civilization, the moment you don't do that, they say, "Oh, you this is because I'm a threat because I must be awesome, right?" Uh,
They are really good at putting on a good face. They're manipulative, but they still get their work done. And that's what stakeholders care about. So while they're out there ruining your life, they're somehow keeping everything else afloat. When I've been in situations like this, I started looking hardcore for another job. And when I found one, I made my exit swiftly. The disappointing thing is the weak coworkers who joined forces with them. And what's really crazy is even after you're gone, the way that they still try to insert you in conversations or talk about things that are wrong and how they have to fix it because of something that you did. But that's no longer your business when you're from underneath their craziness.
okay. Maybe you're just a bad employee. Now, I know it's hard for you to believe because, nobody is going to critique you for fear of being called a sexist or a racist or something like that. No one is going to honestly critique you. And people feel obligated to compliment you because so they don't feel like a sexist or racist. So all your life you've been receiving compliment after compliment after compliment, and then they get your work and they get exhausted by having to deal with all the F-ups of somebody who think that they're doing a great job. And you quit before they fired you. And then after you're gone, and if this is a pet to threat problem, then why are they still talking about your work after the threat is gone? Because they have to clean up your mess. You were there making a mess of yourself, thinking that you were delighting everybody with your charming and pleasant personality and your beautiful features. And now you're a victim again.
It's not you, it's them.
No, it's you. If your work is subpar and they have to clean up after you after you're gone, it's you.
I don't want to be anybody's pet. I just want to do my job and go home.
They just want you to do your job and go home. But you said in the beginning that, oh, we joking, we're vibing. No, you should be doing your work and going home.
Home. The pet to threat pipeline.
All right, next one.
Let's talk about the pet to threat pipeline for Black women.
Oh, crap.
So this is something that is prevalent for great majority of Black women, including myself, where we have been hired at a place, they celebrate our excellence. And
here we have it. They celebrate our excellence. What kind of arrogant is that? I default excellent because I'm a Black woman. And now I need you to celebrate that fact. I need you to celebrate the fact that I am excellent. Who wants to work with that? Okay, let's see where this is going. I haven't seen this. I probably won't watch the whole thing because it's 5 minutes.
Once they understand that our competence surpasses their own, they become...
Oh, God. Oh, gosh. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Once they understand that our competence surpasses their own, how arrogant could these broads be? Holy crap. Holy crap. I just can't. I don't see how anybody could. Well, apparently in the workplace, they can't. Like, oh, they feel threatened. It's like, no, you come here thinking that you're excellent, thinking that, imagine in any facet of any organization imagine a man who thinks like that, right? Imagine a man going into the NBA thinking like that about his coach, and other teammates, ones who have been there, ones who have actually, performed under the, bright lights and cheering fans. I don't have anything to learn because my competence surpasses yours. You just imagine a doctor. Like, I get it. You go to school, you go to medical school, you go to, you pass the MCATs, and then you have residency, and you're still considered like a junior doctor for years. It takes years of working under someone before you can actually, you're actually like a regular in the field. Before you could come to this level of arrogance. Wow. I have not seen this. Dang. And they look like trash. This, holy crap. Hit the like button.
I'm threatened by that. And that's not to say that this happens to all Black women. It definitely has happened to me. It's happening now. And
yeah, it's happening to ones who are arrogant and think that they should be teaching as opposed to learning when they're new in a place.
How it shows up is hyper scrutinizing what it is that I'm doing. I've been hired at an institution as a somatic coach. Management loves me.
Oh my gosh. That doesn't sound like a thing. That really sounds like a very DEI thing. That sounds like something that anybody could do, but they hired you to do it for optics. What's it? Somatic? Refers to a coach trained in neurosemantics, a coaching model developed by Dr. L. Michelle. Okay, so a female doctor created something that's not, what is this? That integrate principles of neurolinguistics, cognitive science. This is just like buzzword bingo. Tell me what it is that you do. Okay. Hold on. How people create. Okay, here we go. This model explores how people create and experience meta states or states about other states and understand the structure of their own consciousness. So it's crap. Whatever it is a bunch of crap. It's something that the company don't need, but they hire people like this from time to time for whatever reason, like every now and again. For those of you who work in corporate know what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't, hit the like button. But every now and again, they send some garbage person to come in and they tell you how to properly stretch. Like, did you know that you were yawning and stretching the wrong way? Here's the right way to stretch. And it's always something stupid. What's your true color? What's your spirit animal? What type of happy are you? It's always, oh crap. And she's one of these crappy human beings. Listen, you're useless. You're useless. In every company, you are useless. And yeah, she does have the voice of somebody who wasn't born the gender that they are presently.
Students love me, all of those things. One particular trainer sees me as a threat. And this happens to other people too. But I find it to be very pointed for us as Black women because no one's there to protect us, to back us up when things go wrong, when things go south. And this is the big.
Okay. Oh. another trainer, of course, is going to see you as a threat because you are a threat. That's like saying Pepsi sees Coke as a threat, or vice versa. That McDonald's see Burger King as a threat. I mean, you're in competition. Y'all both selling the same snake oil to companies. So, you know, if there's another semantic coach out there. Oh, and by the way, people like this are only needed like once a year. Somebody pays them to do some type of stupid seminar with their employees, and I don't know why. I really don't. And I've worked there. I've never known why corporations do stuff like that. It doesn't boost morale. Maybe they think it boosts morale. It doesn't. So, but they do it once a year. I don't know, to just break up the routine and shake things up, or to say they did, or to write it off, or to get a BJ from the coach. Who knows? But it's an utterly useless thing. And really, once things get rough, like it is now, as far as corporations streamlining and cutting down the crap, stuff like her stuff is the first to go. So it's become competitive. Other people are out there, they're competing, and they don't like you because you're the competition. But you were never a pet.
Biggest issue, because this woman who I haven't had any real issue with, but I see her watching me on IG. You have to search the people that you follow. And so we have been going back and forth for a few weeks about a reformer. And it's always, mind you, it's always petty stuff. It's always stuff that normal people will just let go. But certain people who are insecure and threatened hold on to it, and then they weaponize it in such a way that you become a villain in their story. And so a few weeks ago, she had slacked a general Slack message, everyone inquiring as to who has been on the reformer. I didn't know, unbeknownst to me, that she had seen me on the surveillance cameras before she sent a generalized message to everyone. And why would you send a generalized message when you know who it was?
Huh?
And mind you, I have every right to be on the reformer as someone who works in that space, as someone who teaches Pilates. But she likes to control the environment so much.
I don't know what the reformer is. I don't know why is she using, it seemed like internal corporate lingo as if everyone understands it. Let me see. Okay, so it's a Pilates thing. So why is it bad to be on the reformer? Probably because she didn't wash her cooch juice off of it, and they smelled it, and they're like, whose is this?
That she has started to create this confabulation, this story around me, because she's threatened by me, as well she should. I'm very magnetic. I'm very loved by the students.
And here we go about how awesome I am. I'm awesome, and if you don't like me, it's because you're threatened. Well, maybe if you don't like, if they don't like you, it's because you are not as awesome as you think you are.
I'm excellent at my job. And that's threatening to people who feel like imposters in what it is that they're doing. And that's not my fault. I DM'd her like an adult because I have no problem with accountability or confrontation. And we had a very lighthearted conversation because I know how to de-escalate a situation, which I did. Confronting it and being like, hey, what's up? Let's have a conversation about this. If more people knew how to do that, our world would be a completely different world. But you'd be surprised at how many people.
I know how to de-escalate a situation. by putting the person on blast on TikTok. Yeah, you're doing a bang up job de-escalating the situation now, aren't you?
These workspaces that have no idea how to just say, hey, do you have a minute? I just want to talk to you about this. I prefer that you do it this way. I'd love for you to do this instead of that. The world would be so different if people had the audacity and courage to confront what it is that they need head on. She DMs me again.
Holy crap.
On Slack saying, can you wear socks when you're on the reformer? She had seen me on IG. Now, when you're on IG.
Okay, so I told you it was some type of smell thing going on. I told you it was some type of smell thing going on. I could tell that this woman smells. So, yeah, she's asking you to wear socks. Something has to have, like, for people to gather around, like, who was on this machine, means that something went wrong. And the only thing that could go wrong, like after the fact, is a smell. Unless the machine is broken, and that doesn't seem to be the case. So she was on a machine, she left behind a smell, and now she's like, and it seems like she's de-escalating the situation by politely saying, hey, put your socks on. Put some socks on. You are funking up the reformer.
You have to actually type in the person's name to see them if you're following them. They don't come up in your feed. So this person is looking for me. She's digging for things to just like, what can I find about Lanice today? What can I do? And I see her watching me in this space when I'm at the gym. And this is the beginning of the threat. This is how it shows up for us. The hypervigilance of what it is that we're up to. And it's not because we're up to anything bad or wrong. It's because other people feel insecure about what it is that they're doing. I've had.
Okay, so we all get the gist of this. Black women are great. Black women are awesome. If they are not great or awesome, it's because you are a misogynist racist. So we're going to move on.
What is the pet to threat pipeline? Pet to threat is a term coined by Dr. Keisha Thomas to describe the experiences of Black women at work. She says a lot of Black women in modern times go from the pet, the token, look, I love this person, see, I'm not racist, I have a Black worker, until that Black woman is really good at her job. And then she is a threat, because nothing threat.
You don't have any Black female friends? I can't stand white women like this, who just believe all Black women. I mean, you don't let them into your house. You don't have any friends, and I'm not talking about like the Stacey Dash types, the Candace Owens type. I'm ones who have been like vetted and bathed in whiteness their entire life. No, I'm talking about the truly problematic ones. The ones who make up crap like Pet the Threat Pipeline. Have you ever had one of those? Have you ever had this Dr. Keisha over or something like that? Have you ever actually met them long enough to where the code switching, once the code switching is off, you see what's underneath and it's like, oh crap, maybe there's a there.
The system of white supremacy more than seeing a non-white person excel, especially if they're also a woman, because that threatens patriarchy. And then any kind of social mobility threatens classism. So you have all these three major systems being like, suppress the Black woman. So Dr. Keisha Thomas has done a lot of work on this. I see people talk about this pet to threat a lot on here because I think it is something that resonates with a lot of people. However, this theory is specific to the experiences of Black women. I think it's relatable to a lot of people because of the unwritten rules of work, the things that I talk about, that you get to a certain level and you start violating these norms, and that makes them not like you anymore. Particularly the unwritten rule of compliance, which I've talked about a lot on here. But it's different from pet to threat. And what distinguishes pet to threat to me is that the Black woman is used in like a professional fetishization of making the white person feel better about themselves for, oh, look at me, I'm so...
No. Black women are not hired for professional fetishization, or because white men have a need to appear woke. Black women are hired because they work for less and they put up with more crap. You see, you got to look at it from a white man's point of view for a number of reasons. You're a white man, you have a business. Let's just say you have a consulting firm of some sort, right? A small consulting firm. You could hire a young white woman as a receptionist and piss off your wife, and she's going to be gone the moment her boyfriend gets on one knee. Or you can hire an overweight Black woman with 3 kids. She's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. Nobody's going to propose to her or marry her. And he knows that. He knows he don't have to worry about somebody, wifing her up and then she leaves and he has to retrain somebody else. He knows that. He knows that that is the only source of income. Whatever he decides to pay her, not only does he know he could pay her less, but he knows that whatever he decides to pay her is feeding her entire family. There is no husband. There is no alternative source. So she is going to work as an immigrant that just got here for the same wage. They like having that control over them. Like, yeah, I'm going to need you to come in Saturday. And you know something? I'm going to need you to come in Sunday too. Y'all remember Chris Rock's mom who went to a bunch of jobs and like after the first day she quit? I don't have to put up with this. My husband got 2 jobs. I don't have to put up with this. My husband got 2 jobs. Modern Black women can't say that crap. And hiring managers know that.
To this Black person, I am such a good boss, until that person does well, and then it's threat. What is the pet to threat pipeline?
All right, salute to AM1. Peace. Somebody said something interesting. I work in tech in San Francisco, and I could tell you no one sees any of these Keishas as a threat. Bars, they don't. Keisha, by and large, works in a very low-end corporate aspect. In fact, in many cases, it might not even qualify as corporate work, but it's work in a corporate setting. But they're more interested in the optics of everything. And Keisha, she's all in. She's all in. White, Asian, Hispanic women, they have lives outside of work, and their social status, depends on more than their work. However, with Keisha, I'm a corporate woman. Like, okay, well, Becky's a corporate woman, and she's also a wife and mother, and she's a cheerleading coach for her daughter's team, and she is the vice president of the local chapter of Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and she is a Girl Scout den mother. And you're a secretary. Like, you see the difference? And that's because they sacrifice so much. I'm educated. They sacrifice so much to get these very base jobs. These very, very, very mid jobs. And the pay shows. Like, I mean, you know, they can't say they're killing in the game when they have the lowest pay. So, you know, the pay shows. They do all this stuff just to look successful, because that's what they prioritize over everything, including family. Oh,
I want y'all to watch this video that is tagged here.
I want some syrup. I don't have any syrup in my house. And y'all know, because I only eat certain things. And shout out to AM1. You know, he I seen his post on his health journey and progress and stuff like that, and very impressive. But anyway, I have my own, and it don't include syrup, but looking at her just make me want some syrup. And I'm not talking about this Pearl Miller syrup that they got now, because modern society is too afraid to say Aunt Jemima, but I want some Aunt Jemima syrup. I am old enough to remember Aunt Jemima syrup, and I want it by looking at her. And I want cookies. I want to twist her head open and dig in her neck and take out cookies. Let's see what she has to say. Hit the like button.
Okay, if you're on Instagram, take your ass to my stories. But this is what I be talking about when I say that it is so easy for you to become a threat in the workplace, because you articulate yourself, you communicate what is
everybody articulate themselves. Oh my. What is it that you do? What is it that you do? Why do these corporate black chicks think that they're doing something by being able to talk? And other verbally dexterous people are threatened. According to women like this, everybody else in the workplace is like, oh my gosh, she's black and she can articulate herself. She might run the universe. Oh my God, she can articulate herself. Are you saying that you can talk? Oh crap. Okay.
And all of a sudden you're a fucking problem. When you got there, you were a 5-star employee, right? I ain't changed.
You was not a 5-star employee.
The work ain't changed. So what the fuck is the difference? The difference is now they see you as a threat. They see you as a problem. And you can't be nobody motherfucking imagination. You understand me? Now, the young lady in this video, she clearly communicated what the concern was. The response of the other person let me know every fucking thing that I needed to know. Are you done? After she sat there and communicated for 3 minutes, her concern about the disrespect that she's receiving.
After she sat there and communicated, she communicated for 3 minutes. She communicated. You are so articulate. I do not want to hear anything this broad has to say for 3 minutes, or any broad like her. That's why I interrupt so much. This is, holy crap.
Inside of the workplace. Are you done? Is the first thing that is uttered. Yes, bitch, I am motherfucking done. This is when you need to know what your cap is, what your limit is. Because disrespect is some shit I will not motherfucking tolerate. You understand?
Wow, she curses like a lot, and talks about how articulate she is.
Watch that fucking video and see how she even stated, when I started, I got 5-star reviews. Perfect performance reviews. All of a sudden, now I'm a fucking issue. Even though my work quality has not changed. Is now I'm questioning the shit. Now I'm being difficult. Now I'm being insubordinate. I want y'all to watch this.
Yes, now you're being difficult and now you're being insubordinate. Just because a person did well, and they probably didn't do well. I mean, when you first start at a company and you go through training and you get 5-star reviews in training, it's a lot different than actually having performance-based reviews. But let's just give the benefit of the doubt, and let's just say she got 5 stars in the beginning. Well, everybody does well until they don't.
Let's talk about what it means when you go from pet to threat. When you are hired and your bosses are so excited about working with you, and they go and they're telling the whole office, blah, 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 and they're going to help train you because they know more than you, right? Because you still need them.
Yes, they know more than you because you're working for them. You just started working for them. Holy crap. Holy crap. So basically, you start a company and they want to train you. And you're like, oh, yeah, they think they know more than me. Yes, they do. Like, listen. Every now and again at a grocery store, they'll have a retarded working there. And I went to a grocery store and they had one there. And a woman who's not like that said she needed help with the lottery ticket machine. I don't play the lottery. I don't know how the lottery ticket machine works or anything like that. But she said to this employee, hey, could you help me with this machine? And he really, and I still don't know what he was doing, but he was really, really competent in that machine. And you want to know why? Because he works there. He works there. He has more experience, so he knows more than you. Meaning that if you are new and you just so happen to be a genius, you still don't know how to work that lottery ticket machine. So you will have to default to him to learn how to work that machine. That's what that means. Somebody said something. Holy crap. Narcissists can't handle when you are done letting them control you. Okay. You want to know when a person is done controlling you? When you're fired or you quit. You are an employee. What in the hell is wrong with you? I'm done letting you control me. All right. Well, leave your badge on the table and we'll mail you your stuff. What kind of crap? Are you stupid or something? Why do y'all want to? Why are y'all looking to work for somebody and not be controlled by the people who are employing you? How dumb is this generation of people? Oh, crap. I'm done letting you control me. I still want a paycheck, but I don't want you to control me. Imagine trying to be in relationships with bras like this. That is just bonkers.
But the caveat is that you're pretty smart and you pick it up pretty quickly. And you pick it up so quickly that you do the job pretty well, pretty quickly. And then you become a threat. And now, instead of being excited about you, they talk shit about you to drag you down and they isolate you. That has happened to me multiple times in offices because I didn't realize that the game was rigged. I didn't realize that being really good at my job and doing it really fast, really well, was not something.
They are constantly self-aggrandizing. This is unbelievable. These feminists are.
That was going to be applauded in corporate America. Let's talk about what it means when you go.
Toxic leaders and toxic.
Oh my God, the plaid shirt. Notice how the white men aren't here back in this foolishness.
Workplaces will love you until you stop being who they need you to be.
Of course they are. Because you're an idiot. Corporations will love you until you stop being who they want you to be. You mean who they're paying you to be? Imagine if you own a football team and you have a kicker that you pay to kick. You pay him to kick punts and you pay him to kick field goals. And people love you. The coach, the owners love you for your ability to kick. And then you stop being a kicker. And you want to be a linebacker. And then they're like, oh, well, everybody loved me when I was a kicker. Because you're a kicker. Holy crap. Everybody loved Michael Jordan until he became a baseball player. Everybody loved Will Smith until he became an idiot. Like, damn it. Do the thing that they pay you to do.
Famed and brilliant organizational psychologist Dr. Keisha Thomas calls it pet.
Holy crap. Brilliant organizational psychologist. That is a made-up title. Both of those titles. I know some people swear by it, and maybe it's true in many cases, but most psychiatrists are full of shit.
The threat. Here's the pattern she discovered. First, they celebrate you. Then they try to control you. Eventually, they label you as a problem. Sound familiar? So why does this happen? Because when you're new, ambitious, and grateful, you're non-threatening. But when you ask for the same opportunities as your peers, challenge unfair decisions, take up space without apology, and fail to agree with their perspective or biases, now you're the problem.
I don't know what he means when he says take up space without an apology. Maybe somebody in the chat room can help me. What do you mean? Because it really sounds like infringing on boundaries. In every aspect that I could think of, it would come down to some form of infringing on boundaries. That's a polite way of saying that, and that's a way of saying that the person who's infringing is in the right. But no, someone is taking up. First of all, if you say unapologetically or without apologizing, it implies that it is some form of aggression. So you're being aggressive, and you are upset that people are responding to said aggression.
The mentorship dries up. The support is no longer available. The feedback becomes harsher, and the doors that were once open start to close. I've lived this, and so have many of you. If your voice or success was only welcome when it was convenient, then you were never being supported. You were being used. Toxic leaders and toxic.
Okay, that was hard to watch.
All right, going from pet to threat. Yeah.
Black man, we have been conditioned so bad. A black woman say something, and we just line up like soldiers.
This is something that happens in friendships, it happens in relationships, it happens in the workplace, and it happens with family. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on friendships and relationships for this one. Going from pet to threat. Yeah, now it's a common thing that happens when initially in life, you need to understand some people just think they're better than you. They just do. You're gonna meet people in life who think that you're beneath them, even though nothing in their life reflects that. They just think you're beneath them. Yeah, and there's nothing you can do with that. Okay, you cannot convince a delusional person of reality. You just can't. You just have to leave them to it. Do you understand? However,
okay, maybe he's on to something, because that's how I would look at all the women who were speaking before. They think they're better than everybody, and everything they do is awesome. And if you don't recognize it as such, it's because you see them as a threat, because you're threatened by their awesomeness. So maybe we're on the same page here. Let's see.
a lot of people who have this superiority complex, yeah, they like to hang around people or be in relationships with people they believe are beneath them. It gives them the power, it gives them control in the dynamic. That makes sense. And initially, if the person doesn't believe in themselves, they don't have that much confidence, it's easy for the person with the superiority complex to put them down or to belittle them constantly, or to be condescending. And the person will just accept it because, as far as they're concerned, this is my position. I always say to people, mental torture is a lot worse than physical torture. You can punch me up all day long. Do you understand? I'll bounce back in like an hour. But you see, when someone mentally grinds you down and breaks you down, that is wickedness.
Enough of that foolishness. All right.
I'm so glad you brought this up.
Not saying that he's foolish, but he's on a topic that's a rabbit hole and it's kind of long-winded. He's not talking about the corporate setting, so let's move on. An article that speaks of this from Pet to Threat. At first, they love you. I think a lot of these women don't understand that they probably never really loved you, especially in a corporate setting. They tolerated you, and their ability to tolerate you has diminished. The black fatigue, in other words. Or perhaps just the quality of your work wears down when the enthusiasm of having a job wears off.
I have a pet to threat story that I'm going to share in the next video. If you don't know already, what this commenter is referencing is an article by Dr. Keisha Thomas, a Black woman who experienced this very thing. And she wrote an article about it and called it the pet to threat theory. And it's where Black women are disproportionately affected by this phenomenon, where we're hired for our skills, our abilities, we're welcomed, we're celebrated. Then we get to the job, and it usually 3 to 6.
We're hired for our skills and our abilities. Yeah. Okay. Okay. If you believe that, I have a bag of African hair to sell you. These bras really think that they're awesome. This is madness.
6 months in, that's when it starts, because now we're getting competent. We're, being more confident in our role.
We're getting competent. So you admit that you were incompetent the first 6 months. So they loved you when you were incompetent and they hate you when you're competent? Okay. What company is this that hires incompetent people that hope that they remain incompetent indefinitely? Where's the employer that's out there saying, dang, I hate these competent workers? I thought that they were incompetent.
We're learning, catching on. We start making connections with other people in different departments, or we're catching the eye of somebody else in a higher level position, like our boss's boss, what have you. And so now we become a threat, and then the devaluing starts, because the idea is we want you in these spaces. We want your expertise. We want what you bring to the table, but you got to stay in your place. Just do the work, hand it over, and then get out of the way. So if you have not read this article, highly recommend that you do. Just type Google Dr. Keisha Thomas. It will come up. I'm going to put her name in the comment section so you can look up that article, but stay tuned because I've got a video about that too. I'm so glad you.
Okay.
Let's do a part 2 about pet to threat.
Holy crap.
As someone working in a huge corporate office, the bigger the corporation, the slower you need to move.
She looked like Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. This is annoying. I don't want to hear it again. I'm done.
It's not in your head. When you first join an organization, everybody is super nice to you because you're the newbie. You're learning. You don't pose a threat to them. But the minute that you start excelling in your role,
You're not excelling in your role. You're not. I mean, of course you're excelling because you're better than you were the first day. These chicks are just misreading signals. Anybody who can get fired or receive workplace tension and think it's because they're so awesome, like all the time, like that's their default. The problem is you. Well, okay. I don't want to read. You're stupid.
To teaching.
You don't have hair.
That unique, talented Black girl experience.
You don't have hair either.
So I recently learned this term that kind of blew my mind. So I want to share it with you. The term is pet to threat. And it is when a person of color, woman of color, gets hired on into a corporate environment and is first the pet and is praised and given all kinds of attention and just other things to help give them tools to actually learn how to do the things. Then
what you're describing is called training. It's called welcoming and training.
Are you seeing this
happen? This brought again. Okay, enough of this. I'm exhausted. We're about to hit an hour. Let me just do what I came here to do, and then get this over with. Gosh, this is. See, here's what these women are doing. They're creating the appearance of a social imbalance, hoping that corporate America will try to balance the scale. They're like, oh, the threat, the pet to threat pipeline. Oh, well, I guess we should promote you faster to balance that out. That's all they do. Gosh, work. And then these bros are expecting like promotions after 6 months and stuff. This is just nerve-wracking. All right, let me take a deep breath. Somebody said person of color equal Black woman. No. Person of color is all not white persons. It's a way that not white people can infringe upon the benefits that, Black people fought for. I mean, these people weren't people of color when that label, no coloreds, was on the water fountains. Now, were they? But now all of a sudden they're people of color. Why? Because they feel that it's a benefit to be a person of color. But notice how these persons of colors, voted against Black women's best interests in the last election. Just saying. All right, let me see if I can find this last video. Here we go. This video is entitled "White Women Harassing Black Men at Work." It's a 2-minute video, so yeah. I can watch this, then I can go. Make sure you hit that like button. I am exhausted. I don't know if I'm hungry or if I'm just like sick of their foolishness.
Men incorporated into the Pet to Threat pipeline by Dr. Keisha Thomas, but I have seen in real life Black men targeted by white women at work. And I don't know if that means that Pet to Threat expands to include Black men or if this is a separate phenomenon. So I'm curious what your experience has been, if you're willing to share it. The worst I have seen was when I worked at a place there was another white woman manager who was like my peer, who on top of being a horrible employee and shitty person, had a vendetta against Black men specifically. I'd already caught her abusing one of my own employees and had locked her out of meetings because of it. I'd reported her to senior leadership and they were just like, oh, that's just how she is. We're talking to her. And I was like, this is not okay. And they would also tell me, they'd be like, yeah, other people have problems with her too. It's not just you. And I'm like, so we're seeing a pattern of bad behavior here. But another Black man who I did not manage, who was a peer, called me and told me that same woman, he had caught her after a Teams call. He had thought he hung up, but he didn't, because we all think we hit the button and it doesn't work. And she had listened in to him talking to his wife, because this was during work from home, about a vacation they were planning to take. And not only did she stay on the line and not hang up like a normal person would, she then the next day accused him of trying to take vacation without letting her know. And he reported her to senior leadership and they never made him work with her again. But not only did she keep her job, she still got more opportunities in that company than anybody else. She was absolutely a favorite. And that was just insanely violating and weird to me. She was like, you were taking a vacation without letting me know. Don't all married people talk to their partner before they put it?
Okay, I think this is the wrong one. I think I was referring to another one, white women harassing Black men at work. I think she did another video on the same topic. I'll check on that.
In a PTO request, and also, why the fuck are you eavesdropping in somebody else's home? That's so weird. That is bunny on the stove behavior.
I don't know what bunny on the stove behavior is, but you do. So, yeah. Anyway, let me see if I can find the right video. That wasn't it. All right, so she has a lot of video. basically every group of people except straight white men are, oh, here we go. There was a part 2 to it. Okay.
So it seems to me that where Black women experience pet to threat, Black men experience sex to threat. Of a bunch of disturbing comments, white women making advances on Black men at work, and then when they don't give in to them, then they're the threat. I did not find an identifiable moniker like pet to threat, like Dr. Keisha Thomas has coined for Black women.
Yeah, that's a problem. Black men, it's a severe problem in Black male America that we have about corporate white women trying to suck our dick all the time. It's an epidemic that we must put a stop to. I mean, they just harass us with their mouth all the time. We have to put a stop to the epidemic of corporate white women trying to suck our dicks. We just have to. Because Black women says we do. In a Black community, unlike any other community, it's the women that are getting harassed in the workplace. The women are complaining about, let's be clear, being fired for incompetence and annoying behavior, while the men are complaining about being sexualized at the work, according to this. Now, the men aren't actually complaining. It's this Dr. Keisha Thomas chick. But let's see what her interpretation of the complaint is.
Black women are treated like the pet, the token, the, oh, well, I'm such a good white person because I have a Black friend type thing. Pet to threat as soon as those Black women show they are very competent and excellent at their job. There's not a moniker yet. I did find this researcher, Dr. Adia Harvey Wingfield, who shares this public article, so you can find it on Google. It's not blocked by the academic wall. She talks about the research she's been doing on Black men being sexually harassed, particularly in healthcare, which a lot of my comments were Black men from healthcare, so I found that really telling. It's about research she's been doing on this since 2007. She said, since 2007, I've been researching the ways Black men navigate work in professional, predominantly white occupations. The fields in which these men are employed are varied and include nursing, engineering, academia, medicine, and law. There are also a lot of academics in my comments. While many of these men saw opportunities for advancement, ongoing racial discrimination meant that they encountered micro and macro aggressions at work, having their appearance heavily scrutinized, capabilities doubted, and mere presence in the workplace questioned. But as Black men, some of them are also faced unique forms of sexual harassment that heavily affected the ways they navigated these professional environments. She gives examples.
Okay, here's the thing about sexual harassment. The person, it's not sexual harassment unless the person receiving it complains. I repeat, it is not sexual harassment unless the person who is receiving it complain. Meaning, even if I was to go up to a secretary or something and say, your tits look nice in that dress. It only becomes sexual harassment if she feels harassed by the comment. Where are the Black men complaining? This seems like a Black woman is complaining on the behalf of Black men about something that they may not be against. So a Black woman who is looking on the side, because the article isn't saying like, I've interviewed such and such Black men. No, you are a person sitting on the sidelines looking at other women flirt with Black men getting pissed. I'm HR setting. I don't know what that means. A third party can report sexual harassment. Oh my gosh. Listen. HR is useless. It is a useless thing. For those of you who don't know, HR used to be called personnel. But because women started doing it and they wanted to treat the workplace like romper room because that's really all they know how to manage is children. They're like, yeah, I think we should call it HR because it's more human. It's human interaction. Listen. And unfortunately, what this person is saying is true. Meaning that you can say something to a person that isn't offended and somebody else can be offended on their behalf. And then what follows is, an HR person really trying to push the issue. Are you sure you wasn't offended? No, I wasn't. Are you sure you wasn't offended? No, I wasn't. Are you sure you wasn't offended? No, I wasn't. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Are you really sure? Because we'll fire him. This is the modern workplace. So you have lonely, bitter broads like this sitting on the sideline, watching other people flirt with the men. And you're like, oh, wow, as long as these women keep flirting with him, he'll never be lonely and desperate enough to give me a shot. So I got to put a stop to this. I'm going to write an article.
From her research participants that she provides a pseudonym with, similar to how I do, where you give them a name that's not real because, of course, you want to protect their privacy. So Sean described unwanted touching, repeated infractions, a belief that the institutions where they work will not act, are troublingly similar to the accounts we have been hearing. The comment is blocking what I can read, but essentially similar to Me Too complaints, because this article was written in 2018. But being a Black man in a profession predominantly comprised of white women made this experience much more complicated. She outlines its experiences. They're very important and talks about the nuances. She doesn't dismiss sexual harassment of women, but she does talk about how it's already hard for men to come forward because there's so much stigma men who experience sexual assault, and then she talks about the compounding intersections for Black men. She doesn't dive into this here, but I'm sure she does in her work on the historical connotations associated with the trope of the Black man pursuing white women is a white supremacist trope. It's been weaponized to literally murder Black men for saying that he.
Why is she bringing up the trope of Black men pursuing white women when this is an article about white women pursuing Black men? That should be written by a Black man. If they felt bothered by this, which we don't.
He whistled at your girl. Why am I sharing this? One, because this has been a conversation with my followers and I don't want to dismiss everybody putting their stories in the comments. And two, because a lot of these perpetrators seem to look like me. So my fellow pales, cut that shit out. Just
Miss, you're stupid. You're stupid. If you don't put my penis in your mouth, you are dumb. A Black woman who hates white men, who hates to see Black men with white women more than the Klan does, told you that Black men feel harassed by white women advances. So now you as a white woman is telling other white women not to advance. You're stupid. She's eliminating competition, and you are refusing to compete because you're stupid. Gosh. I hope that when she has a light-skinned kid, because she's going to get some black penis, it's just a matter of time, that the daughter don't grow up to be equally as stupid as you. Black women said that we shouldn't flirt with black men because it makes the black men feel uncomfortable. I'm going to apply that logic. While kicking it with Drake, I'm going to tell women, you know, y'all shouldn't be grouping for Drake because it makes him feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel comfortable when y'all, you know, throw yourself at me. Basically, if you ever throw yourself at somebody who's not me, it makes them feel uncomfortable. So just throw it at me. Jesus Christ. Why are you believing a black woman? Okay. Years ago, years ago, I seen an episode of Cheaters. And on Cheaters, y'all know, for those of you who don't know how the show works, it's an old show. There's a guy, Joey Greco. He say you feel that your girl is cheating on you, right? Or a girl feels a guy is cheating on her. She would tell the guy, the producer of the show, to have private detectives follow him around and see what's going on. And they find out that they're cheating. And they have like all the details of it, at least as much as they can, from following somebody around and blah, 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 blah. So in this one episode, a woman felt that her boyfriend was cheating on her, a black dude. And so just like as the show goes, follow him around, turns out he was seeing somebody else and blah, 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 right? He was seeing like this Latin chick, right? And I think the chick that he was seeing was also Latin or mixed or something, or maybe they both were mixed. Who knows? It was a long time ago I seen this, but I'll never forget because I was looking at dude the same way that the host was. So she caught him cheating with somebody that they knew, like a mutual friend. And then, you know, the whole Jerry Springer thing, they're about to fight, and that's what they come for, the reaction. That's what people watch it. That's why I watch it. And then Joey took the guy to the side and says, and he always give this spiel, like, why'd you cheat? How come you couldn't just break up with the person? It's like, you don't understand the concept. The whole point of cheating is to have a multitude of pussy. Anyway, you know, he brings him to the side. He was like, no, because, you know, I heard that she was cheating on me. I heard that my girl was cheating on me, that she was doing this, and this, you know, with these guys, you know. And Joey said, well, who told you that? And then he says, she did. She being the person who he was cheating with. And he was like, you don't see what's going on here? He just looked at him like, you don't see what's going on here? The woman who got you in the end told you that the woman that you were with was cheating on you. Yeah, she cheating on you. She disrespecting you, and you went running to her. You don't see what's going on? So black women are telling white women that black men are uncomfortable. You don't see what's going on? No, you don't, because you're stupid.
If he doesn't want you, like, get over it. That's true. But also, like, at work,
he would have to be the one to say that he don't want you.
You should not be making advances on people. You know this. You don't like it when men make advances on you at work. Cut this shit out. Anna, why are you talking about this? Well, one, because people are talking about it in my comments and I don't want to dismiss them. And two, I research the unwritten rules of work for people from working class backgrounds and neurodivergence, and I look at race and gender intersections along the way. And while people were commenting like, this pet to threat, it happens to Black men too, I was intrigued because I knew from my own research and my interviews with Black men that I can remember one interviewer explicitly being like, I have to be very careful around white women to not be perceived as a threat in general. And so I was like, is it threat to threat? Is that the thing? But then all these disturbing comments were like, oh no, it's more fetishizy than that.
If you're a white woman and you're listening to a Black woman telling you how a Black man perceives white woman interests, then you're stupid. There's no other way around it. All right, let's read some comments before I get out of here. What's this? Oh, got distracted by something. I'll just put it on watch later. Maybe she's scared. Scared of black penis? What are you talking about? What is she scared of? What do you believe that she's scared of? She's trying to be friends with the very Keisha who despised her. Yeah. She got the whiteness. She got the whiteness she has is what Keisha desires and will never have. Interesting. Interesting. But I definitely see the truth in that. Love that show. Joey was a douchebaggy. Joey was as douchebaggy as a human can be. What show? Oh, Joey Greco. I was thinking he was talking about Friends. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. He does have like a smackable face if I ever seen one. So him, Will Ferrell, and what's his name? Jeremy Miller have the most smackable faces in the universe. What's going on, Lion? Other groups of women don't know how treacherous black women are to black men. No, they don't. And like I said in the beginning when she did that TikTok video, it's because she don't have any black female friends. If she did, if she listened to them, the stuff that they said, if she actually knew that a person like Sinji exists or Sprinkle Woman exists, then you wouldn't believe crap that they have to say. They have to learn that black women are not happy when they find out coworker Becky is seeing a black man. Of course not. And you as Becky need to just let them be, if they hate, then let them hate and watch your penis pile up. The same way black men know that white men aren't happy when they find out about his white girlfriend. Yeah. Yeah. So, so if a white man came to me and said, hey, you need to put it halfway in because they don't like the full thing, I'm not going to believe him. We learn to keep quiet about it. Yeah, they write these articles hoping I mean, basically, if they can weaken the attraction between black men and black women, that gives them more leverage for black men, because that's what they want. They want to be black men's only option, and then starve him out, and then demand a ridiculous price for subpar box. And that only works if you're a black man that's addicted to their validation, like Austin Holloman and stuff. I'm going to do a separate video about this, because from what I'm gathering from the outside looking in, it does seem as if African women, a large portion of African women, are aware that the black men who go there are seeking validation. And since they're the only people that can give them maternal validation, then they are going to hoard that. They're going to, leverage that against them. Now, I'm going to share this short with you, and then I'm going to go. Hold on. Oh, actually, I'm going to share two shorts. Life is.
I don't say that brother they give you shot. No, I don't know. Run for your dear life, oh. Run, no. What's he tell my baby? Yeah, I'm saying it's on the boyfriend. The boyfriend they come. The boyfriend they come. So I not be the main boyfriend. Why now? I don't know. Why? So I not be the main boyfriend. You just single. I just single. Who did? Oh.
Okay, before I get started into my assessment of this video, this is why passport bros, for the most part, don't go to Africa. First of all, what the hell? And second of all, look at this. Look at the mesh up of shitty bodies that's going on here. I mean, this one is okay, but these small titties like to pudge out, and oh crap. Oh crap. If I traveled and landed on the motherland, walked out and seen this, like, oh. And this got a lot of views. It has 29,000 thumbs up. Like, oh. Women like this exist everywhere, granted. Even in countries where women are reputedly slim and attractive, they still have women that look like this. However, this is what you choose to put on camera. Where's the Brazilian woman who is on camera looking like this, with her hair like this, both of their hair like this, at this age? Jeez, very mid. So you have the fatter of the two women, see a happy relationship, tells the other woman a lie. I can't even make out their words. So she tells this woman a lie and she walks off. And then she takes her guy. Sounds familiar? White woman? You think that maybe black women is telling you a untruth so she can take the man that you are interested in? You stupid. All right. Now, this is an example of an African video, right? And they all look like this. Like all the shorts that they do, the women are very mid. And this isn't me crapping on them. I'm just saying, like, for people who want to crap on guys, this is a response to the people who want to crap on guys for not being as interested in going to the motherland or think that they are accomplishing something spectacular. You know, like once he said passport bros are selling you a dream, the gloves were off. The gloves were off. So now with the gloves off, it's like, okay, well, let's see what you're selling. Because so far, you know, one guy that you talked to went there and he got and said that he was mid. He got hustled by an unattractive prostitute and, you know, and threatened to kick out, like all sorts of stuff. Oh, here's another one. Oh, wait, this is Jamaican. Okay, hold on. All right, so you're standing there minding your own business, putting a window on your apartment. An overweight African woman comes with blonde hair. She grabs what, yeah. Okay, so apparently, Africa is a place to, if you want a bunch of fat chicks with short blonde hair to come and grab your penis, then you need to go to the continent. Ask Austin. This looked like one of the women in this video, to be perfectly blunt about it. Then they talk about, look at how much I love, or look at how much they love us here. The ones that look worth a damn seem to love something else. You know, judging by the woman who married a black dude, got back to America, left him, and now she's, you know, now she's on the Brad CC. Now, let's just look at what a not African video looked like. Okay, so once again, you know, they're doing a comedy. They're doing a comedy routine. But let's just see the difference between African and not African. Let's just see the difference. This is not Africa. Fair use.
What you doing? Give me that. What the hell?
Please don't call the cops, please.
I ain't calling shit. Damn, you look good. What you out here robbing folks?
I mean, I don't have a choice. I have to live, you know.
What? Pretty thing like you shouldn't be spending a dime. But you ain't got no money or something?
No, I don't.
Look, man, I got money. You know what I'm saying? What you need?
I need food.
You need food?
Yeah.
What?
I'm starving, man. I need food. No, it's been 3 days.
3 days you haven't eaten?
3 days, yeah.
Damn, girl. Look, don't even worry about food. I got you, okay? And you need that?
I do.
You can keep it.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. You can have it. You know what I mean? I got like 2 more. Now let's go ahead and get this food, and then I'm gonna drop back home. And maybe you can give me your number.
I don't have home. I'm homeless. I don't have a place, you know?
You homeless?
Yeah.
Oh. I've been asking God for a blessing. You the blessing. You heaven sent. I have a big house to myself. No one lives with me. I have plenty of room. So you can come stay with me.
I mean, I just try to rob you.
No, don't worry about it. That's cool. A pretty thing like you get passes. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Here. Get some money, man. Get some money. Just put it in your pocket.
Thank you.
Yeah, you good. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go. Come on.
Okay.
What you want to eat?
A burger.
Oh, let's go. Perfect. I was starving for a burger. Hey, what you doing? Give me that.
Okay. So I don't know if they're in the US or the UK. But because she has a British accent and he has an American accent, so I don't know where they're from. Probably US, and but needless to say that it is easier to get an attractive woman to do a skit with you in the US or the UK than it is in whatever part of Africa they were from. That skit would have hit a lot different, with the hammer, if the woman looked like her. Everything is better when the woman looked like her. This wouldn't have made any sense if she was like short, fat, bald, and blonde. He would have just took his phone back, smacked her a few times, and and blackened her eye, even though it's already blackened, and then just walked off. But he was like, oh, wait a minute. You starving on the streets? And that's what men that travel have no aversion. People like Skylar, there's no aversion. It's like, if you're pretty and you need food and board, okay. If you're pretty and you need stove and food, okay. Okay. And that's the difference between Austin and Skylar and myself, and really most other normal human beings. That's the difference between them, or between us. And that is, we don't want validation, we want beauty. In the first skit, the guy got validation from an unbeautiful woman. She was the aggressor. She had no problem, walking up to him like, hey, I'm on that, I want some of that thing. She had no problem. So a guy would feel validated if a woman just came up and it's like, hey, I want some, I want you. Same with the very first one where, the two mid and below mid women in the bikini. Like, you get validation with that. You get validation because, they both want to be with you. And they're fighting over you, really. So you get that validation. It's not validation when it comes from a mid chick. It's not. So this guy right here, he's like, listen, fuck validation. You look like damn. And you haven't eaten in 3 days. So keep the phone. Here's some money. And I got a studio apartment with a big bed. Actually, with a little bed, but we're gonna have to be closer together in it. That's what he's saying. That's the difference. Beauty matters to most men. The fact that these dudes are traversing the world looking for mid chicks that validate them is just mind-boggling. It is just mind-boggling to me. All right, let me get out of this. And her body's on point too. Looks like all the women in his kid greatness vids, then you call those hags and you hate black women. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, once black women realize that you are race loyal, they got you. They got you. I mean, it's like walking into a company, finding out that they only hire Sagittarius. They're Sagittarius loyal. Now let's negotiate a salary. It's like, okay, well, Sagittarius is only like 1/12 of the population. So, I could charge anything I want. They're going to have to pay me anything I want because I'm one of the few Sagittariuses that are qualified. Once you've reached that point, it gives you leverage. And they are known for leveraging black men. So these dudes are going to these countries and getting leveraged. That's why they don't treat white dudes like that. Because they know, listen, in any situation, if you don't have the ability to say, if I don't like it, I'm gonna leave, then that person can leverage you. You are in the same predicament as a person who walks into a car dealership and you say, this is the only car dealership I go to. My daddy went to this king dealership and my granddaddy went to this car dealership, and I am not going to any other car dealership. And that car salesman is looking at you like ching. And that is how they look at you when you go to Africa. Because they know what passport bros are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when they see you, they like, wait a minute. He could be anywhere in the world, but he is here in Kenya. That means that he has a very particular type. And because he has this particular type, I don't have to do as much or work as hard or try as hard. In the gym, mainly. So they don't when they go to you. But when they see Brad comes through, it's like, oh, wait a minute, I got to make sure he has a good time or else he's going to go back to Sweden. I got to make sure he's having a good time or else he's going to go to Brazil. I got to make sure he's having a good time or else he's going to go to China. I got to make sure he has a good time or else he's going to go to anywhere else in the world. Ethnic loyalty in mating is a trap. And don't pretend like you're better. If you went to a high school that, where, it's only like 3 black dudes and a chick says she only messed with black dudes, got her. Got her. You don't have to try as hard. They see the scarcity mindset in you. In other words, and they exploit that. Austin has never recovered from seeing a white man outpulling him in Brazil. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, and I'm like 108% sure that that's going on in Kenya as well, because it's going on with everybody else, including O'Shea Duke Jackson. Like, everybody is talking about that, especially with this new development about the woman, who left her husband, so she could live the sprinkle life, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The fact that they have a word for it, mazogo or something like that, it means that it is a thing. It happened to you once in Brazil and you just went crying to Africa. It's happening all the time in Kenya and you are pretending that it doesn't happen. Everyone in that video is ugly as hell. You're talking about the swimsuit video. I can find this in South Memphis. You could find that in the South Memphis sewer. You could find that like at the Goodwill in South Memphis. Oh God, you can even find it in Mississippi. Dear God, no. She's not okay. Flat chest, ill-shaped body. Well, here's the thing about her body. Her body wasn't as fat as the other broad, but her body shows clear sign that she is one of those "my body is what it is" thinking people, which is prevalent amongst Black women almost everywhere in the diaspora. Meaning, I don't have a need to improve in any way. Her tit size is her tit size. She can't really do anything about that, but they can do something about their midsection. They just don't. Meaning that it's going to get worse and there's nothing that she's going to do. Look like a boy teen soldier guarding a diamond field. Yeah. What percent of Black women do you think are truly race loyal? 25. So, because I think only 40% of them are married. And so I would say let's just give it 50. And then let's just say half of those, are open to all races and they just so happen to marry a Black man. And then you take away the ones who are not married to Black men. And there you have it. Single women are not technically race loyal. If you were, okay. Just because I'm not drinking Pepsi, that doesn't mean I'm loyal to Coke. And just because you're not with a white man, that doesn't mean that you're loyal to Black men. It means that you're not with a white man. Okay, so yeah, then it's very low. You are as good as your options. Well, let me show you something. Actually, we could just start right here. What's her options? What's her options? She has plenty of options. She just hasn't made a choice, at least not that I know of. But we're going to go to someone who I know hasn't made a choice. Oh, and by the way, Kelly Price, I'm coming for you. Somebody said every straight man is her option, and every bi and lesbian woman is her option too. Absolutely. We can't say that there don't exist attractive Black women with plenty of options that's just been swiping left on Tinder for 10 years or so. We can't say that doesn't exist. And a person like that, you can't call them loyal. You can't call them loyal if you reject 99.9% of Black men like they Listerine germs that come your way. You just can't. That's not loyalty. That's something else. So somebody was saying, GameChanger, don't come at Kelly Price. I'm sorry, she got to get this work. So I suppose that she just had a lack of options, huh? I'm supposing that she just had a lack of options, right? Right? Because she married herself. The whole Black woman lack of option thing is a myth. It is a myth. They set their standards well beyond their worth. And then when people ask why are they single, they say because I'm race loyal. You're not race loyal. You're loyal to a penis that's not mine. Oh, wait a minute. Force you to bend over. Hold on, do I have time? No, I don't have time. I might cover this in the future. I'm curious. So, I guess unless you marry Jay-Z. See, when they say I'm race loyal, that means that they are loyal to Black men that fit their stringent qualifications. That's not loyalty to the race. That's loyalty to the qualifications that you have. Anyway, let me stop here. What did Kelly Price do? So apparently Kelly Price goes off on Black women, and she did the same pick-me stuff that you'll see from Danica Marie, Chantel Simone, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because they were talking about her appearance. But here's the thing. Your appearance is the stereotype. It is what's holding Black women back. You're fat. And you've been fat for a pretty freaking long time. And then, so later she comes out to talk about how the industry favored people like Maya. Of course it did. I wanted to smash Maya. At the same time, like, I remember when Aaliyah was just like the beginning and end of womanhood. And y'all know what I like. Y'all know I like them slim. Y'all know I like them slim. And then Aaliyah just comes out of nowhere, and my jaw just dropped, and I'm like, oh wow. My whole life has changed. You know, I didn't think that it was possible for a woman to be so fine. I kid you not. Aaliyah with her dance moves and everything, I was just like, wow. And at the same time, Maya was coming out. Now, which Maya is very attractive, but she's a very attractive woman when Aaliyah doesn't exist. In fact, she would be a lot of people's fantasy if Aaliyah didn't exist. But Aaliyah did exist. And so I'm not going to say she went unnoticed, but Aaliyah set a new bar that Maya was very high in, but she was just like, hey, I can jack off to anybody I want to. So I do get to choose who I jack off to, and it was Aaliyah, not Maya. And that all changed once I come to the conclusion that R. Kelly pissed on her. So after that, Aaliyah didn't look so hot. I'm like, damn, that nigga pissed on her. After that, Aaliyah did not look so hot. And then I started to see Maya. And it was around the time she was dancing like on the piano keys, and then she did like in the burlesque outfit for Moulin Rouge. What's that song? Yeah, I think the name of the song is Moulin Rouge. No, that's the name of the movie that it did a soundtrack on. It's like that song, Creole Lady Marmalade. It had Queen Latifah on it too, but you know, you can ignore her. So, but yeah, so once after I realized Aaliyah got pissed on, Maya started looking really, really good. And apparently at the same time, Kelly Price, fat ass, was in the background just being jealous and stuff about everything that was going on. And apparently she uses Maya as her focus. Like, you know, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. Listen, don't be fat. You are your problem. It's not Aaliyah. It's not Maya. It's not Brandy. Who else? It's not Lauryn Hill. It's not Alicia Keys. It's you. It's your appetite. Aaliyah was fine, but I couldn't admit that until she became of age. Absolutely. Absolutely. Same with R. Kelly. Maya had and seemingly still has great legs. Maya has ass. And people don't know that because of her very small frame. I've seen it in a music video. A friend of mine who worked for the radio station, I've never been to her concert. When she was doing concerts, said they noticed it. They said also she has a shit personality. Yeah, and so I seen it on a magazine cover, but I also seen it when I seen her. Like I said, I never seen her in concert, but I was at a step show at Howard during Howard Homecoming, and she was hosting it, and I seen it there. I was like, oh, she got ass too. You know, you would never expect somebody that slim and petite, you know, to have booty. But actually, since I have her up, let me see, maybe I can find it. I don't look like much here because of the way she's bent. Let me see if I can find another one. Y'all look it up yourself. Just know it exists. Just know it exists. So Kelly Price used to sing like backup for a lot of prominent musicians at the time. So like you think you're hearing their voice, but you not backup. She used to be the voice behind the face of other singers, other female singers. So you think you're listening to, and I don't know if Lauryn Hill did this, but you know, I'm just going to use her as an example. You think you're listening to Lauryn Hill, but it's actually Kelly Price in the background singing. You know, so she did that for a lot of people until R. Kelly put her on. And then that's when, you know, you've seen her appearing like on the videos with Mr. Biggs and stuff like that. So it was just, you know, just some funny stuff. Somebody said she had a body made for radio. But the thing is you have control over your body. I mean, listen, it's something to, I'm going to do a separate video. I'm just say this, I'm going to go. It's something to be said about a person who life has made it clear to you. Life has made it clear to you that you will have at least one extra zero behind your annual paycheck if you lose weight. Life has made that clear to you. You are connected. You have the voice. You will get at least one extra zero behind your paycheck if you either work out and exercise or go under the knife and you still refuse to do it. Now you have received the ire of GameChanger. And I know what y'all thinking. No, she critiques black women, you know, just like you critique black women. No. It don't work like that. Enemy of my enemy, blah, 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 blah. No, it don't work like that. You critique black women who critique you because you require critique. Nope. I'm coming at you, Kelly Price. And guess who else I'm coming after? Hold on. I'll show y'all. I will show you. Hit the like button. Oh, crap. Look at what came in my feed. Another one of these videos. I'm going to share it with you. These chicks are grotesquely mid. I haven't seen this yet, but it looks like some grotesquely mid stuff is about to happen.
God have mercy upon us.
Okay. So is this the validation you seek? Is this the validation you seek, Austin? I mean, what they lack in beauty and femininity, they make up for in sexual aggression and ease of access. Would I mind if I'm just standing in a alleyway churning butter for whatever reason, and then some chick came and put her panties on my shoulders? No. But I wouldn't be interested if it looks like her. I would love for this to happen. Just I want the woman to look better. Like, what the fuck? Once again, what they lack in look, they make up for in sexual availability and access. Oh crap. I didn't even see this until just now. She just took her panties off. Like, and she's old. Well, not only would I want it from a woman who looks better, I want it from a woman who, smells polite. Okay, so these African videos, millions of people are watching this, and those people are in Africa. But I'm gonna show y'all what I actually was gonna show y'all before I left. No, yeah, she don't comb her hairs. They're not even doing this for a music video, like for a YouTube video. Like, they know that millions of people are gonna watch, and she still didn't do her hair. I mean, the fact that he is a man with a camera with millions of viewers would mean that he should get the creme de la creme of where he lives. And the sad truth is that probably is the creme de la creme of where he lives, which is why I do not wish to live there. I mean, they gotta, my ex is African. I mean, you just gotta show me better. Maybe that's why she's here. But yeah. All right. Let me show you what I'm going to talk about. Actually, no, I'm not going to show you yet. I'm going to show you a clip, and I haven't seen this. But I'm going to show you a clip of a place where the women aren't in Africa, and it's the same type of skit. I'm pretty sure if it came up on my feed, it's the same type of skit because I just watched the last one. So this looks like Latin America, right? And let's see where Austin prefers to be.
Atrapada. Ay, ayuda, ayuda. ¿Qué está pasando aquí? Ya valió.
Así, muerde. Sí. Well, it's not like that wasn't stupid. But it does seem like it's easier to find a beautiful woman to do something stupid and wherever it is she is than it is in Africa. I'm going to show you. Actually, I'm going to explore this for a bit. Hit the like button because I just can't get over these dudes. Like, he's setting brothers up for failure. Let me go to my other channel. I work too hard in life. I deserve what I pay for. From 1 to 10. Okay, you gotta explain. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. My bad. Let me go. So for those of you who don't know or you're new here, hit the like button. But I watch chiropractic videos, and there's this one in particular that I like because he does like he does this special type of cracking technique that I like, but he's in Italy and he's a chiropractor, and I don't know if he's cherry picking or if that's just the way they look or if the camera is attracting like attractive women, but he's constantly cracking like these beautiful women local to where he is. All right, I think this is the one, but one in particular really caught my eye. And once again, this is like Italy isn't a passport bro destination either. But it's not. But no matter what, it don't have to be a passport bro definition or destination. Every party in every place that you go to, the women are hotter than the ones in Austin's party. That's just is what it is. I go to my cousin's 30th birthday party. The women there are hotter. Like it's the fact that he's there for that is really weird. So
Berry, so Alice Berry, and she's from Venezuela, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will speak
Venezuela.
English with you, but I can translate some Spanish too. But she speaks English perfectly. What happened? So what's the matter? ¿Qué cosa ti fa male?
A mí me duele todo el cuerpo, todo, cada parte de mi cuerpo me duele, así que por favor.
Okay, so she feels pain everywhere. Hay una parte que te duele un poquito más,
Sí,
como la espalda.
by the way, she is a thirst trap and attention whore. Let's start there. She's a thirst trap and attention whore. Now, every woman, including the ones on Fresh and Fit and stuff like that, that's what they are. Like when you have 6-figure subscribers, and the women are volunteering to be on a thing for free, that's why. Now, a counter argument to that is this is what the thirst trapping attention whores in Venezuela and Italy look like. The thirst trapping attention whores in Africa look like the previous videos. It's like, wow, that is the best you could find to thirst trap with like millions of views? Are you kidding me? He's not, because he cracks old men too. He's not like looking for thirst trappers, but I'm pretty sure he's come to realize that, they get more views. But yeah.
La espalda, la parte abajo. Okay, so she feels more pain on the lower back, and we're going to try to fix everything. So this area. Okay, try to bend forward. Okay, te puedes regresar arriba. ¿Cómo es? ¿Te duele? ¿Está bien?
Sí, me duele esta parte de aquí abajo.
Esta parte,
No,
ok.
de verdad.
Ed es la primera vez que van a hacer este tratamiento.
Sí.
Okay, it's gonna be the first time she's gonna do this kind of treatment. So you can sit here. I'll show you.
So notice she's always looking at the camera. Like they all are thirst trapping, but she's like the worst. She's flirting with the camera. She has this dress on. Like who in the fuck does this to a chiropractor? And this dude, he's either like his wife is either super bad or he is rainbow to not be thinking thoughts. Or no, he's just one of those guys. I had a professor like that. I had a professor in college like that. Like I was talking to him and like 3 pretty white chicks would just walk up and you know, like, hey professor, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, how do you just maintain like focus and professionalism during all that? But some people are just like that. I am too, but
bit about this kind of technique. Te muestro un poquito.
He's just used to it.
Ok, intentamos por aquí. Relajada. Ok. Tranquila. Perfecto. Vamos. Ok.
Total. Me quedé sin cuello. Estoy viva todavía.
¿Cómo va?
Muy bien.
She survived. She survived. She's ensuring us that she's fine. Ok. Let's check the rest. Side. Brava. Abbandona tutto. Ok. A bit more, a bit more. Ok. That was a bit stuck. ¿Cómo va?
Es sorprendente.
Ok.
¿Todavía tengo el cuello?
Sí, sí. Lo
La
tiene
cabeza.
todavía.
I gotta learn Latin.
Okay. That's fine. So, you can lie on your back. Qui, pancia in su, boca arriba. ¿Sí?
Bravo. Sí, boca
Sí,
arriba.
vamos a mezclar un poquito de todo. Hay un poco de italiano también que se sale. Ok. Ok, puedes girarte por ese lado. Yes, you can turn by the side. Ok.
I'm watching it to get to a certain part. I don't know where it is, but I know it's in the beginning. So, because she's gonna say something in whatever it is she speaks, and I'm gonna give you a contrast of what's going on. You'll see. You'll see. But this is gonna further like push the whole Africa versus Latin America thing.
Es más la parte abajo o la parte arriba que te duele?
La parte de abajo.
La parte abajo, okay. So more pain here on the lower back. She confirmed. Let me check everything. Por aquí. Okay. Relax, no worries, no worries. Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
Qué alivio.
Okay, let me check. Now, face up, please. Boca abajo, boca arriba. No, sempre boca arriba. Okay. Take your time.
Es un poquito sorprendente.
Yeah. It's fine. Leave everything to me. Okay, you can leave everything to me. No worries. Relax, relax, relax. Okay.
This is happening.
No worries. Try to relax your body. Okay, a bit more, a bit more, a bit more. Lascia cadere le gambe. Ok, deja caer las piernas. Un poquito más relajada. Ok. Perfect.
Ay, qué rico.
Ci siamo. Perfetto. Ferma, ferma. Pancia in su. Bravissima. Ok.
Why does she wear that dress?
Sì, da questo lato.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip forward.
Ok. Deja caer las piernas. Ok. Fine.
There we go.
Perfect.
Right, okay.
Boca arriba.
Qué alivio. Ok.
¿Cómo es? ¿Fácil?
Estoy muy bien.
Puedes acostarte así.
Ay,
Mejor.
alivio.
Es diferente ya. ¿Quieres levantar para ver la diferencia?
Es perfecto. Adoro mi cuerpo ahora.
Ok, aquí, boca arriba. Vamos a hacer la segunda parte.
Esto es muy bueno, increíble. Espero conseguirme un novio.
I think this is where she says it.
Okay. She's looking for
ellas no me entienden.
a Canadian boyfriend. So if someone is available, you can text us on the.
Okay, and that's what I was getting at. So in the middle of her crack session, she just says, I'm looking for a Canadian boyfriend. Just throwing that out there. So, by the way, I'll just pretend to be Canadian. I don't think she knows the difference. The same way I don't know the difference between a Venezuelan or a Colombian chick. It's the same way she don't know the difference between a Canadian and an American. And I doubt that she really cares. Just like I don't really care if a woman's from Venezuela or Colombia. Like, yeah. Yeah. But we're supposed to pass that up, right? You almost literally have to fly over Italy to get to Kenya. Wait, she's looking for a white guy? Maybe, but I don't think so. She said Canadian. That's a country. Yeah. So this is where we're supposed to fly over. We're supposed to fly over. No, it's not. Canadian and American are code for no. Listen, when someone says American, or even Canadian, though the majority is white, and it definitely means that they're not excluding white guys. But it doesn't mean that they are excluding black guys either. Now, when they close their eyes and picture their Canadian or American lover, their North American lover, the picture is that of a white guy. But trust me, they are not curbing black dudes who are also from these places. They're simply not. It is easier for her to marry a Canadian and get citizenship and stuff like that than it is to do that in the US. It's a lot easier. In fact, I know a guy who had a Filipino wife, and he actually had to, it's now his wife, but you know, the whole process of getting her in the US and naturalized, they actually, I don't know the process and procedure, but I do know that she had to go to Canada first. Yeah, I know that. Like I say, it's the default. It's the default. I'm not saying that it's not. What I am saying is that that they're not kicking Black Americans out of the bed. That's what I'm saying. Kind of like, you know, the default, if I was to say I'm looking for an African girl, the default is a Black girl. But if she was just so happened to be like a Moroccan or like an Arabic Egyptian, I'm not kicking her out of my bed. It works like that. Trump messed up our I'm American pickup line. I mean, no matter what, don't move these broads back. Don't move these broads back. Don't move these broads back. Listen, if you're Superman, put it like this. Put it like this. What do y'all think would happen if Superman brought Lois Lane back to Krypton? Assuming that Krypton didn't explode. What do you think would happen if Superman brought Lois Lane back to Krypton? He's only Superman with a yellow sun. Why would you bring her back to the place where you're a regular nigga? And there are a bunch of yous around. Why would you do that? Don't be stupid. And she'd be crushed by the gravity. Which means that she would be crushed by the big dick basketball players. I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen with this white dude. This nigga looks slimy as hell. And his girl was a Russian chick, and she was bad. I mean, she was like the baddest chick in the office. I was like, why in the fuck is she with this fucking slime grease job of the fat looking nigga? Is just nasty, fucking fat. But she eventually left, and it's like, rightly so. What the fuck? Why did you bring her back, you simple? And then why did you bring her into the workplace, knowing that GameChanger is there? I don't fuck with married women, though. But the point is, listen, don't bring them back. This is the source of evil. Put it like, would your wife ever take you to a place where the women were more beautiful than her? Like, no, they, yeah. Anyway, so that's what I want to show y'all with that. So all this motherland and blah, 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 blah. Man, that's how they get you. That's how they get you. Anyway, I want to thank everybody that participated. This is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.